It's alterations and misunderstandings like this that can get academics into a lot of trouble because they end up analyzing something that sounds like Scientology but really isn't. I like the directions that Bainbridge takes his thinking when he's talking about Scientology in a wider cultural context, but he is not the best of writers. This essay definitely wanders, but basically what Bainbridge is doing is connecting dots. He goes from talking about science fiction to belief, to Scientology's beliefs, to then getting into Buddhism and L. Ron Hubbard's megapoem called Hymn of Asia. In case you aren't familiar, L. Ron Hubbard wrote a book in poetic form called Hymn of Asia in 1955, where he fraudulently claimed that he was the foretold next coming of the Buddha, called Maitreya, based on what he claimed was an old prophecy from Sanskrit lore. As Bainbridge describes it, Maitreya is the way the Pali language renders the Sanskrit name Maitreya, the future Buddha, who will bring the world ultimate enlightenment. One way to conceptualize many Asian religions, and a way Scientology conceptualizes itself, is as technological religion. That is, they seek to employ spiritual techniques to accomplish definite goals, notably advancement in personal wisdom, power, and invulnerability. I say that Hubbard fraudulently claimed to be Maitreya because Hubbard took, shall we say, liberties with the actual Buddhist legends to fashion himself as the embodiment of its fulfillment. He claimed, for example, that the Sanskrit texts stated that Maitreya would have flaming red hair and would rise first in the West. Oddly, no such Sanskrit scriptures can be found anywhere that say that. It takes but a few minutes to debunk Hubbard's nonsense by reading actual Buddhists talking about Hubbard's claims and how wrong the Church of Scientology gets it. There was an effort made in the early 2000s to get a foothold in the modern Buddhist world, and I recall Buddhists visiting Scientology's Clearwater facilities and there being a lot of positive noise in the Scientology world about this, and then suddenly it got really quiet and nothing more was ever said about the whole thing. Hymn of Asia has been out of print for years, and I think it's something Scientology would like to forget ever happened. However, Bainbridge literally takes everything Hubbard and the Church of Scientology say at face value. As I've already shown in the last two videos, this is a very serious flaw. Bainbridge is well aware, or should be, that Hubbard's operatic nonsense in Hymn of Asia has nothing to do with real Buddhist or Sanskrit prophecy, but he doesn't bother to mention any of this because he's too busy building a case for the validity of Scientology against his own transhumanist philosophy. I just want to point out this lack of critical thinking on his part because it is a consistent error throughout his entire essay. By failing to apply any fact-checking or debunking to Scientology's literature and claims, Bainbridge really just becomes a Scientology mouthpiece rather than an objective academic analyst.